Okay, we did not do this problem on Friday because we were lazy. I don't know. What is the answer? Is it Kenna, Virginia, here? I'm going to close my eyes. Yes, it did cross 1, 2, 3 times. That is true. Thank God to get a point. Okay, we were supposed to notice at this exact spot that there was a hump at that spot. Therefore, that 0 has a multiplicity. So if we listed out all the zeros, yes, -3, yes, -1, yes, 2, but 2 actually happens twice because of the multiplicity of 2. Hence why Virginia was very smart and she used the term double root because 2 happened twice, so it's a double answer or a double root. That was very genius of her. You got a new math workshop on your way in. I need help factoring on the top number 1. It's one of my favorites because it's different perfect squares. So I already know the answers. And yours gets a point. 4x minus 3. 4x plus 3. Number 2. DJ, you cannot count this 20 seconds against me when people are being slow. X minus 10, x plus 6, 2 get a point. -10 plus 6 is -4. -10 times 6 is -60. Very good. Number 3. Let's see if he's right. I knew the 2x and the x are correct. The question is, should he have put the 3 there? Should 3 be over here? Should the 3 be a positive? I don't know. That's what guess and check is for. We need to check him. Let's see. If he is correct, he's going to get 2 points. 2x squared plus 2x minus 3x minus 3. Does he get 2 points? (2x, -3x), it does combine to a negative x, so yes, he gets 2 points. Good job, dear. No one all day has gotten the 2 points. Okay, let's look at your notes from last week and talk about some things. So there's good news and bad news. The good news is your next test isn't for 8 days. Your next test is on 2/28. Now, that's a bad news thing, too, because the longer Naya goes between tests, the more likely it is she forgets something in between tests. So let's, again, revamp what we've been doing so far. We talked about, if we look at our learning targets, they kind of help us remember what we were doing. We added and subtracted. We multiplied and divided. And then we did composition. And if I were you, that's the one I would probably put a question mark by or something, because this is the one you struggled with. In fact, some people still haven't turned in their composition checkpoint. Sad day. This is the one we struggle with. DJ can add, subtract, multiply, and divide. He's having trouble with composition. But last week on Friday, we were rocking it out with inverses. In fact, we had a worksheet that is due today. Let me remind you of it. It says, algebra to a trig, inverse functions. I'm even going to show you problem 3 so we can review really fast what we're supposed to do. We change the f of x to a y. We make the x and the y swap places. So y used to be on the left side, now y is where x is. X used to be on the right, now he's where y is. They swap places, and we solve for y. So you have to swap the x and y, and you have to solve for y. It was the worksheet given to you last Friday that is due today. The worksheet given to you last Friday, and it had like 8 problems on it. Heck, a lot of people showed it to me last Friday.
Is it this one?
Yes, it's got 8 problems on it. Okay, DJ, come here. Okay, that one was fine, and you're about to have plenty of time to work on it. Come here. I gave you 5, and 5's up. I'm over my time, but you can have that. Yes, I tortured him for 5 minutes because it was fun. Okay, let's go to what we're actually doing today, which is the next learning target. So you think, yay, I see the word inverses again, so life's still good because I like inverses, and you would be wrong. Okay, so flip to the very back of your notes. So yes, you like inverses. But no, you don't like composition. Sadly, today you've got to use composition to show that things are inverses. When I get done rambling, have you finished your composition checkpoint? Do you have that inverse worksheet done? And if you can say yes to both of those, which means you're on top of things, as you should be in math class, then my suggestion is to either practice these 2 problems at the bottom on the page before, or if Abby Grace asked me, even though the test is 8 days away, I could go ahead and give her the study guide for the next test. So the problems involving inverses, she could go ahead and work and make sure she's on the right page. Not the last page, but the next to last page, there are 2 guided practice problems at the bottom. And I believe you've already tried the ones I'm going to go over today, Travis. So you probably want to do it on a different piece of paper or something. Okay, we are doing 3 problems and 3 problems only today because I'd only need 3 problems to explain this. Okay, you thought you were mad at composition, but it actually turns out to be your friend. Remind me of the 2 words we need. Composition, we had 2 acronyms. What were they? Yes, but 2 said it first. 2 gets the point. 6. What are you doing? Never getting any points. Okay, so we've been dealing with fog and Goff, and I told you that most of the time they don't. I told you like 90-something% of the time they never. Yeah, they never match. Yes. 2, get another point. Travis, what words did you say? Yes, so you can have a point too. So they normally never match unless we see this word. We want them to match if they're really inverses. So not only will fog and Goff match, but they'll actually be equal to something very specific. If we really are inverses, yes, we are 2 inverse functions, then they will both equal x every single time. So if they really are inverses, because we're supposed to check to see whether or not 4, 5, and 6 are those f's and g's, if they're inverse functions. If they really are, if we plug in fog and we plug them in Goff or whatever, we're going to get x both times. Okay, but before we go crazy and fog and Goff it, we talked about how we could logically think our way through most of these. So I already know the answer to number 4. I already know the answer is no before I even use fog and Goff. Why do I know the answer is no on number 4 even though I've not done any math? Yes, dear.
The only difference is plus or minus 3.
Yes, and 3 can have a point. He wasn't even here last week, so he didn't even have to know inverses were opposites. Can someone tell me what we think should have gone on G instead of what happened? If F and G really were opposites. Yeah, if F and G were really opposites, then what would have happened on G?
On G, 2 and X, they wouldn't be multiplied together.
No, they would have been, yes, 2 gets a point. We added 3 and subtracted 3. Those are opposites, but we multiplied by 2. Opposite of multiplying would be in division. So in number 5, am I going to guess yes or no? I'm going to guess yes. You can have a point for that. Because they're opposites. Plus 6, minus 6, multiply by 4, divide by 4. And I'm going to be right. On number 6, if I guess, straight up just guess, I would guess no and I would be wrong because the answer is going to be yes. Because I've done this this is my 3rd time today. What on number 6 just throws everything off? We talked about that on Friday. Like, if anytime you see this, it just throws life off. And I can't guess very well anymore. What about F makes it difficult to predict G? Yes, it's the fraction. You can have a point for that. The darn fraction is going to mess everything up. If it wasn't a fraction, I'd still use my same logic of opposite signs. But fractions just don't follow the pattern I want them to follow. Okay, but we are going to actually use math to prove this. So on number 4, let's check fog. If fog fails, there's no need to try Goff. It's kind of the way, like, I'll pick on Abby Grace because she would never on earth do this. It's kind of the way Abby Grace takes a test where she knows she failed the front side, why bother with the back side? That's kind of what's going to happen with fog and Goff. If fog fails, why even try Goff? There's no need. Okay, so fog. So we want to know f composed with g of x. Well, g of x is 2x minus 3. So I really want to know f evaluated at 2x minus 3. Well, f was 2x plus 3. And that's what f was. It was 2x plus 3. But everywhere I see an x, I'm supposed to plug in what's in parentheses. So I used to see an x here. Now it's going to be 2x minus 3. Okay, you can distribute and combine those like terms. What would your answer be? The seniors are still at least 12:30.
How about junior?
They're going to be doing stuff all day. And everybody else all day. Yes, dear. 4x minus 3. So I distribute the 2. I have 4x minus 6 plus 3. So yes, he's right. It's 4x minus 3. Is that what I wanted to happen? No, I'm telling you, I literally want my answer to be x today. If I don't get x, I'm not happy. So there's no need to check Goff because I've already failed. So no, they're not inverses. Or you can just put no, but I'm mad about it. So I'm going to put more words. Not inverses. You stink. But again, you and I were guessing it was a no to begin with because we understood this whole inverses or opposite operations. Okay, well, we're going to treat number 5 the same way. Let's do fog. So we want to do f composed with g of x. So f, but our g of x has changed. This time it's x minus 6 over 4. We hope. Okay, well, f was 4x plus 6. But again, everywhere I see an x, I'm supposed to replace it with this. So I actually have 4x minus 6 over 4. And Travis is telling me that if I solve this out, I'm going to end up getting just x. Does anyone else agree or disagree? Or yes. Because I went up here, f is 4x plus 6. So instead of, the only thing I changed was the x. Instead of doing x, I did what we had in parentheses. So it used to be 4x minus 6. 4x plus 6. So instead I do what I had in parentheses plus 6. Okay, he says the 4's cancel each other out. Well, that's nice that the 4's cancel each other out. What about the 6's? How do you just get rid of them? Yeah, they cancel out as well. So we do end up getting just x. Travis is correct. He saw it in his head. If you see it in your head and understand it, you can stop. You don't have to actually solve it out. I'm being a bit facetious. But how exciting. The 4's cancel out because they were opposite operations. The negative 6 and the positive 6 cancel out because they were opposites as well. And we end up getting just x. And I'm super excited. But again, I'm a good math student. Yes, fog gave me what I wanted, but I won't truly know that they're inverses until I check Goff as well. Goff has to give me x as well, or else they're not inverses. So I've got to go back through my life and do Goff. Okay, well again, f of x, if I look back at the top, f of x in this problem is 4x plus 6. So I actually want to know g at 4x plus 6. Well, G is x minus 6 over 4. But I'm not using x. I'm using what's in parentheses for x. So I actually have 4x plus 6 in those parentheses. Okay, Travis is super excited and he's saying it's x again. Can anyone confirm? I heard a yes, but why? Which ones cancel first? The 6 minus 6 die, so we end up with 4x over 4, which, yes, again is x. So I got x for golf, I got x for fog, so I am happy. So, yes, they're inverses. So if fog fails, no need to check golf. If golf, so you can start with either one. But if they're inverses, they'll both give you x. Are there any questions about 5? One last one, and then I'm telling you, it would be wise to go ahead and get the study guide and try the couple of these on the study guide to make sure you know what to do on your own. Because again, when the test is that far away, Lord knows the sooner it gets here, the further away it is, the more likely it is Xavier forgets what we were doing. Okay, so we're going to check fog. So we want to know f at g of x. G of x is negative 3x plus 9. Now f used to be negative 1/3 x plus 3. But now instead of x, I'm replacing x with that negative 3x plus 9. And so am I actually going to be happy when I distribute and combine my like terms? Am I going to be happy this time? He says yes, but why?
It's negative 1/3 negative 3x plus x.
Yep.
Negative 1/3 minus negative 3.
Yes. Get a point, Brady. So he distributed negative 1/3 times negative 3 gives you just a positive x. Negative times negative makes a positive. The 3's cancel out. Great. Negative 1/3 times 9 is negative 3. Yay. Those die. So we have just x. So fog is worked out. Let's check golf. And if it works too, again, we're going to have us some inverses. Let's see golf. This is the kind of thing I've seen on the ACT just because, I don't know why people don't understand function composition with it. I don't know. Or maybe they forgot inverses meant use composition. I don't know what happens, but I've seen this happen a lot on the ACT, which means people must forget it because the ACT doesn't ask easy questions that everyone knows. Well, G is actually negative 3x plus 9, but I'm not using x. Everywhere I used to see an x, instead I'm using negative 1/3 x plus 3. 3, that is a 3. Okay, is golf gonna let me down? Why? When you distribute, we'll have x minus 9 plus 9, and he's right, everything cancels out, and you just get x. Travis sees that in his head, which is fine, so he can go straight to just an x. If you're like me, I like to show a little work, just because, I don't know, it makes me feel better. But regardless, with fog we got x, with golf we got x, they match. So yes, inverses. Are there any questions about this? So I'm not giving you a whole new worksheet on this. I would normally, except tomorrow is such a crazy day. So again, if you want to practice this, which would be wise, you can do the 2 problems on the previous page, or you can ask me for the study guide for the next test. Okay, if you're missing the checkpoint or the worksheet I need to see today, those are your priorities right now. I'm done rambling.